What's up, Gemini? Welcome to your November 2020 reading. I feel like this is going to be an interesting one. I mean, we do have quite a lot going on this month. And we're ending the month with an eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign on the 30th or 29th, depending on where you are in the world. And that's going to be kicking off eclipse season, and it's going to be one for the books. Because we'll have the sun in Sagittarius, so it's going to be all about relationships. And oh boy, do we feel that coming up, even at the beginning of this month. It's a lot of rising tension and inflated energy. And we can thank the astrology for that, especially shout out to that Jupiter and Pluto conjunction on, I think it's the 12th of November. It's the third one this year. And both the planets are in Capricorn. So that's going to be pretty focused in on, I mean, whatever Capricorn rules for you guys, but on a larger scale. It's going to be some inflated, extreme energy. It's going to hopefully bring in some good news, but I do think it's going to bring a lot of things in our life to a bursting point. And I definitely feel that in terms of maybe for some of you, I don't want to say your vices, but maybe some of your attractions. Something to do with relationship is getting inflated and reaching its boiling point, bursting point this month. So Geminis, I feel like you already know that I might just be reading you to filth this month, but here we go. Let's see what comes. Ooh. Gemini. All those toxic attachments, obsessions, or those crushes that we know we shouldn't have, those feelings that feel almost wrong. Maybe they are wrong, but maybe they're not. And like a Gemini, if you think long and hard about it, all's fair in love and war, right? And with Judgment coming up, it says you are finding yourself really this month chained to some things that you know you need to shift out of. You're finding yourself indebted to, almost in some ways, to relationships, people, situations, jobs, responsibilities that why do we need to chain ourselves to that? Because we feel guilty about leaving. We're afraid of what will happen if we walk away. And that's kind of a weird position for you to be in, right, Gemini? As someone who can move so quickly, and you and Sagittarius, I mean, how do I even describe this, are very social. Let's just say it that way. You guys are very social. You're very keen and adept at social skills, communication, talking. So when you find that you haven't wanted to talk about this, you don't know how to broach this, you don't know how to talk about it, it's going to be coming up this month for you guys. And you might be letting some things slip here and there. So be careful. Because yes, Mercury is direct now in Libra. But when it was retrograde in Libra, did you find yourself slipping up and saying things, doing things that you're like, oh, if you look at that now, whoa, what was I saying? What are people going to think of me if I say that? Did they notice I said that? Yeesh. It's going to highlight a lot of your own, like I said, your vices. Let's talk about some of this stuff here. Yeah. Where to even begin? There's so much happening astrologically that I can't cover this all. But if you want a nice comprehensive look, check out White Light Astrology. I'm really enjoying his breakdowns of the astrological events. And, sorry, let me move that before that goes off. My phone, I'm just getting it out of here. So it doesn't go off in the middle of a reading. It just did that to me like 10 minutes ago, even though the sound is off. Like I said, Mercury might be direct, but it's still in its shadow until probably around the 18th, I believe. So we have some really interesting squares and oppositions with Venus this month. And that's really going to, again, highlight relationship stuff, obviously, right? Where are we comfortable in our relationships? What do we want? What do we desire versus what do we have? And what are we not speaking up on? The Ace of Swords. Six of Pentacles. Oof. It feels like in a lot of ways, again, things are going really, really good. Work's good. You have so much sixth house activity right now. Let's talk about that for a second, and then we'll get to the filth, because that's what the universe wants to talk about right now. But it's looking really, really successful for you guys. Projects that you've wanted to get off the ground. Ideas that you have. Collaborations. And again, with all of this, you know, 5th and 6th house energy this month, it's all about entertainment. It's all about focusing on, you know, the arts, creativity, putting yourself out there. So if you're feeling creative, if you have an idea, go for it. If you have something you want to work on with somebody else, this is a great time to do so. You might find yourself in a role of delegating, of organizing, of, you know, putting things together here, taking, you know, different people with different skill sets, putting them together and creating something quite profitable for yourself. You'll definitely be working with others, but, you know, again, when aren't you? You're at your best when you work with others. And, ooh, yeah. Again, successful, independent, amazing, abundant. And just, you guys are coming off as all of that in a bag of chips. So let's not even focus too much on work and all that. It's just, it's smooth. It's great. You're ahead of everybody else somehow. I don't know. Everybody else around you can't figure out how you get it all done and manage to do all of the other things, have the social life that you have, be as busy as you are during a pandemic. You guys have got it going on. And it's just great. Moving faster than the speed of light, smooth as the wind. So let's talk about some of this stuff that's more emotional. Yeah, let's talk about the emotions. Let's talk about relationships. Let's do it, Gemini. You have a lot of major arcanas out on the table, huh? Whenever it gets down to relationships, we got major arcana stuff going on here. Oh. I don't want to say what I think is going to happen here for some of you, but I don't want to like throw this at those Geminis that are married, because that doesn't feel like it's that. I don't want to call your relationship like that, but you get some really interesting cards. Death is the major player here, and right after him, the Chariot. Are we moving in the same direction? Do we have the same goals? Do we see ourselves in the same relationship? Do you see things the way I see them? Conversations like that. If you've been with someone for a while, you're going to start really looking at how we support and push each other forward and where we hold each other back. And on top of all that, a concerning lack of passion and love. There's a need to stay in this, a nostalgia for what was, and yet the fire seems like it's been put out in some way. I want to stick with this because I knew it was there, and we had so much love, and we had so much passion, and oh my God, like I couldn't get enough of you in the beginning, but what is going on now? Where are we at? Because with the Ace of Wands, I can't seem to communicate to you that I'm not feeling that passion, that the excitement almost feels a little bit lost here, and it doesn't feel like we're just communicating at different levels, maybe different love languages, whatever you want to call it. But someone's going to be calling this, I think, and I think it might be you. There's a 10 of Wands reversed and the 3 of Swords. And Geminis, you do this thing, like Sagittarians do, where to a lot of the world, it might seem like you're in a perfect and wonderful relationship, even if inside of it, you're taking a lot of the responsibilities, you're taking the toll, you're taking on a lot of it, and you're trying to delegate, you're trying to do all the communication, you're trying to do it all, really, in this situation. It feels like whoever, let's just like break it down to something simple here, you've taken on a lot more in this relationship than the other person, and you've held back a lot more just because, you know, maybe for some of you, the other person seem more fragile. I don't want to say that to them. I don't want to upset them. I don't want to ruin this. I don't want to dump all of what I'm feeling onto this and see. I don't want to see what's going to happen if I do that. So let's just keep trying to do that kind of air sign thing where we can talk our way through this, talk our way out of this. But at a certain point, you see it from the opposite angle, and it's just not worth it for you to hold on to that anymore. So the 10 of Wands to me signifies, and again, seeing this under it, there might be a separation, time apart, feeling very alone and lonely within a relationship. I don't want to say it's the other person that leaves. I feel, again, even if you're the person that gets broken up with or dumped, or, you know, you feel it's more on you. It needed to happen. And I think you know that. Because I don't think that you can go very far running on the fumes of the past and what was and what we wish could be again. So, yeah. But you know what, Gemini? It's not bad. Because for some of you, it allows you to deal with this. Maybe an illicit attraction. Something else that's pulling at you that we have to deal with, but we had to break through the devil first. There's kind of a lot in this reading. The major arcana are very major and very intense this month for you guys. You're in the driver's seat, so what are you going to do? Never forget that. You hold the power. You have the cards in your hand. So even when we feel we can't make a decision and that we're going to sit at this crossroads, I don't think the astrology is going to let you do that this month. Not by that eclipse in your sign. It's all about you transforming yourself into who do you really want to be. You know, a relationship like this, like, again, it feels like a lot of that weight's on you. You want to be baby. You want to be the person that's being taken care of. I know that sounds like a Cancerian thing, but there's a clear desire to be loved and taken care of here. And it feels like in every situation, you're the one putting in the effort. You're the one putting on the pants and doing the work and not being the one that's receiving as much as you're giving. It's pretty clear here to me because you're not getting much. You've got nothing left to go on there. Again, I don't feel that this is for, like, married Gemini. So if you're like, oh, this does not fit me, it's not for you. This is definitely not for a married Gemini. There's decisions you don't want to make about what would make you really happy, the type of relationship you really want, and what you've settled for because it looks good on paper and to everybody else. And maybe they're friends with all your friends and they're really cool and they have all these connections. Oh my God, amazing, right? But it's the emotional depth that you long for. It's something more that can't be replaced by social conventions and Instagram posts. Oh, I'm sorry. That one's harsh. But, yeah. So, when it feels like the universe is just going to push you right into this, it will. Yeah, it is. If you don't do it first, it's going to happen. That's for sure. As I say this, I knew it was coming out, but You can't make this shit up, right? The Tower pops right out. It's going to happen. And I feel this for a lot of signs this month. I believe I felt this for Taurus. Scorpio actually had a really nice read, so I'm not even going to like go at them in any way. Like they're having a good time right now, so just let them be. They're actually in a good mood too. If you want to like talk to a Scorpio, they're doing great this month. But in terms of emotions, in terms of relationships, in terms of this, I mean, this is the energy right now. There's just too much going on with the planets. And, you know, we got Venus going from Libra and into Scorpio. What day is that? Let me just check here, because I know I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't write it down. Nope, the 22nd is when Venus moves into Scorpio. Also the day that we have the sun, or 21st maybe, depending on what you look at. But I think it's actually the 21st that the sun moves into Sagittarius, again, about relationships. And right around then, if it didn't already at that new moon in Scorpio, between that new moon in Scorpio, let's just say this, starting at that new moon in Scorpio and culminating or really kicking off on your lunar eclipse on the 29th, 30th of the month, relationships are going to be shifting like crazy. And again, if your relationship's fine, you're doing great, you don't resonate with this, don't freak out. Go check out a reading for your sign that's in Venus. Your Venus sign. I can't speak, I guess. Check it out for your rising. Check it out for your moon sign. It might resonate better in terms of relationships. But whoever this is for, you're in for a rocky one. But you're a Gemini and you're going to be fine. And honestly, even if it's like, oh, woe is me, like this didn't work out and it's painful that we broke up, or it's painful that it had to be this way, don't deny that you're a little bit happy. Don't deny that this now leaves you open to talk to those people that you're interested in. Talk to that one person that you have been really eyeing. That's come up as something a little more in terms of energy than just casual. Page of Swords to me indicates, you know, we're watching with our emotions here for the moment to do all this here. There's a real spicy energy to you once you release whatever this toxic or difficult, whatever happens with relationships, that's this and all that stuff that came out there with the Three of Swords and stuff, you know, Ten of Wands reversed. This is what we're aiming for, and that's beautiful. Again, don't forget that these are the things that we haven't been making a decision on, that we've been sitting on the fence on, and our emotions are going to push this to the surface. We've got so much astrology this month that's going to shove that stuff to the surface one by one by one. That third conjunction on the 12th, that's a very inflated and extreme energy. And again, if that's not what pops it, it's going to bring up the serious conversations and kind of the ball. It's going to get the ball rolling towards whatever this whole situation is. It's just kind of like just pushing down dominoes. Once they start going, everything shifts for you, but in a really positive way. That's not bad. Flirty energy, finding maybe a fire sign, an Aries, a Leo, a Sag. That's very attractive to you. That's kind of everything you've been looking for. Someone who seems almost like magical. I don't know. There's something about them that just draws you in. So, we have bad things, we have good things. But that's kind of the name of the game when you get judgment and death in one reading, right? Scorpio season, then we move right into Sagittarius, your opposite sign, relationships. So it's going to be big. But know that when the judgment shows up, it's time to bring out your dead. It's time to let go of what is no longer serving you, whether it's comfortable or you like it or not. Okay? Because death is here to say transformation. There is a new beginning. There's always something better when death is coming in. It's refreshing a situation. So anything else that we need to know this month? You're going to see yourself in a different light. You're going to see a lot of people in a different light by the end of this month. And a lot of your relationships, that's for sure. Things will get less confusing. Continue to juggle things how you can. Six of Swords says it's time to move on to a better situation, to different shores, to leave the past in the past and turn away from it. You're at a time of great change when you get that Two of Pentacles as well. Transformation and change are here, and you've just kind of got to roll with the punches. Because honestly, we don't have a lot of control this month. The astrology does. And Seven of Cups reverse says that things might feel really confusing, and where are things going, and what's that? And I don't really understand this situation or that connection, and what happened there, and all that. It will make sense when the Seven of Cups is reversed, and we will move through this. But we will also find ourselves leaving certain chapters in the past and being able to move on towards better things, better relationships, better work situations. Again, work looks amazing for you guys this month. I really don't think you have anything to worry about there. It's more about relationships, and that's okay. All right, Geminis, I love you so much. If you want to book a private reading, all of my information on booking is right below this video in the description box, as always. And if you want to check out Truly Divine to get your birth chart, to get your compatibility chart, to get your numerology chart analysis done, they do an amazing job. You can use my code. It's in the description box below. Check out your readings for your other placements. And have a wonderful and blessed rest of November. Enjoy that eclipse, guys. Namaste.